So when we think about brokenness, of course, the connotation of that word sort of brings along some concepts that we have right away, and perhaps we are thinking, of course, about a feeling, an emotional response to something broken, as someone is being broken. That brings these thoughts of just an emotional response, and therefore we may think that when the Bible is speaking about brokenness, or God is speaking to us about brokenness, that he means that some emotion has to happen in us, and that emotion is what brokenness is. Or another concept that we might have is that brokenness, it must be brought along by some sort of situation that breaks us, that crushes us, and that's when we Christians are broken. And welcome to this morning jolt, simple truth from the Word of God. And so that's is that true? Is that true? So is brokenness a feeling? And the answer is that yeah, a feeling, a certain feeling of just being insufficient for something, or something about being humiliated may accompany brokenness, and that can be there definitely. Is brokenness about situations and about responding to situations? And situations can bring brokenness for sure. It's possible, not necessarily, but it's possible. But we do make a grave error when we think brokenness is something that comes and goes like feelings, like you wake up in the morning and you feel like $1 million, and you're gonna just take over the world, and then by the time you brush your teeth and get dressed and get out the door, the feeling is gone, and we somehow think that brokenness could be like that it just sort of comes on and then it passes, and I was broken this morning, but now I'm not. Okay, so that's a grave error, because brokenness is actually a choice of humility. We also make a grave error when we assume that situations will bring it, because brokenness is not about the situations that happen to us. It is about the softness of our hearts. It is about the softness of your heart, my heart. I think just two verses that kind of bring home the point that I just made. In Exodus 8:32, one of the plagues in Egypt, it says that Pharaoh hardened his heart, which means hard situations may make a hard heart even tougher, even harder. Maybe the hard situation doesn't break it. Maybe it just stays there and goes forward in its hardness. So a situation that's tough doesn't necessarily bring brokenness along. No, it is about something else. It is about the softness of your heart, a pre-existing thing actually. Also, Hebrews 12:17, it speaks about Esau. And the point is that just having a certain emotion, he had tears, he was weeping, but it didn't mean that there was humility. His pride still got the better of him, even though he had tears and he was weeping, but his pride still got the better of him, and he never was a broken person. And it just kept him from being broken, and it may keep you and me from being broken, our pride. So the point is, you and I, we need to cultivate through personal choices our heart's humility and our heart's softness in the correct things. And this is like such an important lesson. The point is that do not just expect this whole thing like a pie in the sky thing, that brokenness is just going to come, it's just going to happen to me somehow. It needs to be cultivated for us to be living in it. But if we cultivate brokenness in our lives, in our hearts, in our minds, then actually it can be a steady and constant thing in our lives. It not a fleeting thing like an emotion or when the situation happens, but it can be solid and stable and powerful, and it can give us much in our relationship with God. God bless you with that truth, and God bless your day with the Lord.